Mama Kwaba Emra channel you social no so am say ene di kan a obetimi a subscribe to the channel. Hit it on the notification bell. Na afi watimi a subscribe to the channel. Share, comment na afofro nso ensa into me and can be emami. Political stories are trying to make waves, make headlines. Issues are border on national issues. And I did be exomo ewa hasi. Na shanon mom say enen kuma yidi John Dramani Mahama utimi EP visit to West Kirkson University campus Hachu wani students ho itimi interact ye na nsema hodo a wugina simpi so utimi eda na yi echere school free na yajemra yebe pensi mu na onso waso atumi atibi na okansim bebre na wachere se free senior high school education ni de oba na oba be yidi pa wode nhie pa ebegu kwam ebitimi aboa double track system no every ho ama a school for so ehu atimi ayede ahan wo mu nsem bebre na papa yi ejina simpi so a okan ye best say ebejemre ni ababura na so ye yeti nsem ni bia okan sheno so mam say has a POG Media
secondary education. Through this stakeholder dialogue, we will collectively devise strategies and solutions to further halt the decline and improve the free SHS program. We are committed to abolishing the double track system as soon as possible. Mr. Chairman, between 2012 and 2016, my administration paid particular attention to technical and vocational education. When we regain power in 2024, we will revisit the initiatives that we commenced and will review the current trends and make TVET education more engaging and industry-driven. Enhancing partnerships between TVET institutions and industries across various sectors will be a priority involvement of our industries in shaping TVET training curricula that align with their needs, with the needs of the job market. And this is what we're going to emphasize so that students should be more equipped with entrepreneurial and practical skills that fit the job market. With regards to STEM education, we're going to streamline STEM education, mainstream STEM education into our educational system. We don't believe in standalone STEM secondary schools like this administration is building. We believe that to get a holistic training, all-round training, even if you are studying the humanities, you need some science education and some mathematics and technical education. And so rather than build standalone STEM secondary schools, we're going to rehabilitate all the old science resource centers and create them into STEM centers. So that all the secondary schools can have access to STEM learning instead of a few privileged secondary schools. In all the E-blocks that we built, the community day schools, we put 4 laboratories. A laboratory for physics, for chemistry, biology, and general science. Those laboratories are going to be the STEM centers for the community day schools. We're going to develop those laboratories in all the community days, availability of online mode of distance learning. As a way of diversifying delivery of tertiary education one in each of the newly created regions. This is to ensure that tertiary educational opportunities are accessible across the country and bridge the gap between the newly created regions and the old established regions. We're also committed to providing scholarships and financial assistance through the scholarship scheme, and this will not be on protocol basis to children of favored persons. We also intend to enhance the student loan scheme to provide proper, sufficient loans to students to be able to finance their education, and they are only enjoying to pay back when they have been formally employed. This is commitment to achieving equity and inclusiveness are therefore at the heart of our vision for education. Our focus will be on bridging the gap between the less endowed schools located in the rural endowed schools, and irrespective of their socioeconomic background, their geographical location, their gender, or any other characteristic. And we started to achieve this when Nana Ajiman was Minister of Education. We saw a change in the performance of secondary schools. Some rural schools that before had been performing very poorly suddenly jumped up to the top, and there were many of them who came into the top 20 in terms of performance, at the West African Examination Council exams. We're going to continue and make that a fact of life again. Key in NDC equity agenda is the promotion of gender equity at all levels of education. We commit ourselves to take their access to quality education. Now let me emphasize that the provision of holistic education, more opportunities can be created for these educated youth to apply the skills and knowledge that they have acquired. Creation and employment, a priority item on our next leadership agenda. A major challenge facing our young people employment. As reported in the 2021 Population and Housing Census, Ghana has
when in some ahodo pia Yodra John Dramani Mahama editor Idra Abra Oko Wisconsin University campus Hacho. Na mesra say ene day edikanya ubetimi subscribe to the channel. But Madia say ubetimi ahite on the notification bell amame. Na afi wetimi aboa ama channel no etimi afantuma pefra. No betimi aboa me next time bia na me the video for front so etimi abrawo. Aha na me do besin dasane sadum brane de adum dum ye nia. E besande de chinse e de asono makramo.
As a working age population of 19 find themselves in vulnerable work situations. It means they are underemployed. The general unemployment rate currently in 2016 and so it means that if you disaggregate the figures, 33% of young people aged 15 to 24 in our population do not have employment. And indeed, if you go to our homes, there are several cannot find employment. But the alarming statistic is also that the higher unemployment ratio is among those with a tertiary education. And so it means that you are punished for successfully achieving tertiary education, because unemployment is lower amongst those who are secondary school holders and JHS and basic school history for youth development. This ministry is going to cut across all ministries because it is going to input policy for employment of young people in all the ministries, from education to health to agriculture to industry to trade and every other ministry. And so this is the ministry which will pay attention to youth empowerment and employment. And that's why we call it the Ministry of Youth Development. It's going to be separate from the sports ministry. The sports ministry is not going to have anything to do with it because we want 100% concentration on issues of young people. A key plank of our job creation, this program has caught the fancy of many young people across the country. This innovative program is designed to create a thriving economic environment that operates round the clock, fostering a multitude of employment opportunities for young people. Under the 24-hour economic program, we'll focus on revitalizing existing and dormant industries. And so we're going to invest in bringing industries that have collapsed back on stream, and existing industries that are not performing well, we're going to invest in them so that they can create more employment for young people. We will invest in fostering the growth of emerging sectors that have the potential to operate beyond traditional working hours. By extending the business hours and encouraging businesses to operate during evenings and at weekends, we aim to maximize productivity and create a diverse range of jobs that cater for the needs and aspirations of our youth. This initiative, I'm convinced, will not be smoothly implemented without the involvement of the private sector. My administration will therefore work closely with the private sector, which presently employs 90% of the workforce, according to the Ghana GSS 2021, including business entrepreneurs and investors. By fostering partnerships and providing incentives, we'll grant the private sector some tax reliefs to encourage them to embrace and operationalize the 24-hour economy policy. We will incentivize them to expand their operations and create new job opportunities. This collaborative effort with the private sector will not only stimulate economic growth, but also enable the youth to gain valuable employment experience and contribute to the nation's development. One other area I find critical in our job creation policy is the agricultural and agribusiness sectors. As a farmer myself, I strongly identify agriculture as a major backbone to the Ghanaian economy. Agriculture in all its forms, from crops, crop farming, fishing, animal rearing, etc., continues to be an avenue for employment amongst the young people of our country. As part of our job creation strategy in the agricultural sector, we will strategically diversify the agricultural landscape and tap into new market opportunities. We intend to make agriculture sexy and cool. We're going to move away from the hoe and cutlass agriculture. We will create farmer service centers so young agricultural entrepreneurs who want to go into farming will receive all the services they need from the farmer service center. While they are receiving those services, we'll teach them to use the equipment themselves. As I stand here, I can drive a tractor, I can plow my own field, and we will teach the young people to be able to do it. And we'll teach you all the agric extension knowledge that you need so that you can create a good income for yourself. Aside from that, we will also introduce modern agricultural techniques. I'm sure those of you who've been to other countries, you notice that now a lot of produce is being done in greenhouse conditions. And when we're in office, if you go to Bawumia, we set up greenhouses there. The intention was to allocate it to young people who were interested in agriculture to produce vegetables, tomatoes, onions, carrots, and everything for the markets in Accra. Unfortunately, after we left, my understanding is the place has been abandoned. And so we're going to make agriculture sexy and cool so that young people will be interested in going to agriculture. We will prioritize equipping young people with the necessary technical skills, entrepreneurship and training, and the requisite technological support to enable them offer productivity enhancing services to farmers. By empowering young people to engage in agricultural ventures as profitable businesses, we envision a thriving agricultural sector that contributes to both economic growth and sustainable employment generation. We will also expand investment in the fintech and digital spaces, both in payment platform options, but also in other sectors like agriculture. I met a fintech community recently, and they offer services from like church collections. There's a fintech that has created a platform for churches, and so they're able to make their payments online, pay their tithes online using the payment platform. But there's also a fintech that has registered farmers growing soybean, and it gives them the seeds and the inputs, and then it gives them micro credit using their payment platform, and dressmakers selling fertilizer to farmers because they have political connections. They get the fertilizer and the farmers don't get the fertilizer. And so we'll give tax incentives also to agriculture, especially agribusiness ventures. And as I said, in every region, we're going to establish an agro-industrial zone. Government will acquire the land, will do the road, will bring the water, the electricity, everything there. So anybody who wants to set up a cassava processing plant, a cashew processing plant, any agro-industrial business, you have land aligned with political delineations. They align with the value chain. And so you must put cashew processing plants in Bono and Bono East regions because that's the area where they produce the most cashew in this country. And so you tailor the industry to the comparative advantage they have in terms of their production. And so we'll do these agro-industrial zones and put those processing plants there so that young people can set up their businesses and get employment to do. We'll create a database and a dashboard that allows young people to enter their qualifications so that at any one time employers can go into that database, and if they want a particular skill, a certain qualification in accounting, they'll be able to see all those who have those qualifications, the schools they attended, the year they completed, their experience, everything, And if they take any person from that youth database and employ him, we'll give them a tax incentive for employing that young person. And there'll be a dashboard that shows every person employed, the dashboard, a myriad of jobs. It's a critical sector in our economy and provides significant employment opportunities for our young people. However, it is essential to acknowledge the potential environmental risks associated with this industry, particularly in terms of destruction of our natural habitats and water bodies, as exemplified by Galamsey.
We're committed
to striking a balance.
POG Media. Political stories are trying to make waves, make headlines. And Yajemre na idibin so asum ewa hasi. Na seni milika kayano. John Dramani Mahama and Wutimi Dineni H. Voice Kersen University campus Haucho. And we just seen peace where we need a school free a year in Kitahono. And what to me, it can be said a year 24-hour economy. And but I did true papa person or the banner said the bayer a mebunu a bit me any jumai de aye. Until we quite anopa, no we see so shift system no. Sani ebe running no. Sanam pesemeka. And we need free honswa. Or say industries are hodua and no omuntimi enyina womana so efesika semu omo ebitimi aboa so ba bema na wotimi edisike brebrem na etimi epeja industries no se de beya omo nso ebitimi afankofo yi na at the end of the day no so no ama industry no etimi ejina na so na mabunu so etimi enya adwuma aye we ni free hon so kan bi se ye wonyu ibi wo ho a nam sika wo mani ni ntino adwuma no ntimi na na so yi egu sa nwuma ni nyina no oba abepija se de beya emebunu ebetimi nso etumi enya adwuma aye boye nsem bibre na papa gina simpi so a okan ye at this point in time ye besan atwa so abra ye kwa na so ye na ye tie ni okan pote so